Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of In the Eyes of Truth. Today with us is Sonja Vanden Ende.
Hey there, entrepreneurs. Are you feeling the squeeze from increasing regulations and higher taxes? Maybe you've noticed the growing instability and thought there has to be a better way. Well, you're not alone, and that's exactly why you need to consider offshoring your wealth now. Imagine a life where your hard-earned money isn't constantly under threat from unpredictable government policies. Sounds pretty good, right? Let me tell you. It's not just a dream, it's a smart strategy. Here at Exit Strategy, we specialize in helping entrepreneurs like you protect and grow their wealth. We navigate the complex world of international finance so you don't have to, from setting up offshore accounts to advising on the best countries with favorable tax laws. We've got you covered. Now, I know what you're thinking. Offshoring sounds risky, maybe even a bit shady, but the truth is many savvy business owners are already doing it. It's not just about dodging taxes, it's about creating a safety net for your future. Imagine diversifying your assets across multiple jurisdictions. When one country faces economic downturns, your wealth remains secure. Think of it as an insurance policy against the uncertainties of life. And let's not forget, having a portion of your wealth offshore can open up opportunities for international investments. You're no longer limited by the economic climate of a single country. You can tap into booming markets around the world, maximizing your returns. But here's the kicker. Time is of the essence. With increasing global scrutiny and tightening regulations, the window for easy offshoring is closing fast. The sooner you act, the better positioned you'll be. So why wait? Protect your wealth, secure your future, and explore new opportunities with Exit Strategy. Don't let the rising dangers in the US economy catch you off guard. Reach out to us today and take the first step towards financial freedom. Because when it comes to your wealth, playing it safe is the riskiest move of all. Thanks for watching, and remember, your future starts with the decisions you make today. Choose wisely, choose Exit Strategy. Catch you in the next video.
She is a journalist from the Netherlands. Um, and we're going to be discussing Syria. Sonja, how long did you live in Syria for?
20 years on and off. You can say 1 year, a
Mhm.
few months, and then back, and so on. Yeah, since actually, 20 years ago. And then during the war, which started in 2011, I didn't go so much there because you understand it was horrible. So the last time I was there was in 2019, 2019, 2020,
Mhm.
before the COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what, do you still have contacts or people still there?
Yes, my private situation is that I was married once there to an Alawite. His family still there, so I'm trying everything now that some people get out, which is very, very difficult, I must say. It keeps me busy whole days, and so it's a massacre. What is going on? It's what I see, what I hear. It's unbelievable. I mean, it was terrible in 2011 and up till 2019, but this is, yeah, it's like a Holocaust. We can say it gives me the shivers when I hear it, when I see it. It's, yeah, well, it's what can I say? It's, yeah, beyond words sometimes what I see, what human beings can do. And I don't consider these terrorists human beings, but the West does.
Mm.
They have been given money, so yeah, they say they are a new government there. It's really unbelievable. I think now about 20,000, maybe more, Alawites have been killed. So
Well, it's
imagine this.
it's Alawites, Christians, and Shia. I think they're being
Hmm.
moderate Sunnis too. There was an imam that came out against all of this, and I don't remember his name, but
Hmm.
they busted into his house, physically
Yeah,
raped, a male rape in front of his children, then killed him.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, also Kurds, even though they say, they made an agreement with, Al-Zulani, I keep on saying Al-Zulani, and also the Druze, they live mainly in the south, so like Al-Swaida and so on. But I mean, this is all propaganda a lot that they make, this pact with this so-called new government. But actually, it's because partly of the Kurds, they are also secular. So according to this new caliphate, we can say they are heretics. So yeah, I
Right.
mean, you get killed. That's how it is.
Yeah, that surprised
Yeah.
me when they announced in the middle of this genocide that's going on against minorities, and then the Kurds come out and say, "Oh, we've made allies with them."
Well,
I,
I don't think it's really true. You know, it's only if you read it, it's only in somehow Israeli news, in Israeli
hmm
newspapers. And okay, this guy came from the Kurds, but he is of the Druze came first, but they are occupied by Israel since many, many years on the Golan
hmm
Heights. So yeah, I don't know. It's like yeah, they call it in Israel hasbara maybe, but it's I don't believe it that much, and nobody knows actually what exactly is in this agreement. So I think it's a lot of nonsense.
Well, the
It's
Israelis are far, far from just being in the Golan Heights now. They're just south of
they're inside,
Baghdad.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're inside Syria. They're in Sueda. They are bombing every day Damascus. The military structures are already bombed a lot of times in the beginning when the coup d'état when that started in December. So all the people all the time say, why did the army of Assad didn't fight? Well, they couldn't. The one side, the Israeli came in with their airplanes bombing the whole blooming lot, the military, the weapons, everything was gone within a few hours. And the other side, Turkey has sent his terrorists from Idlib. The terrorists from Idlib had all specialized drones. The drones came mainly, unfortunately, a lot of them from the Netherlands and Ukraine. Also, they had instructors from
Oh
Ukraine.
yeah, yeah.
Imagine this. So they came in from two sides. It was like a blitzkrieg, like they call it, in Germany. So they couldn't do anything. This was 25,000 personnel, army personnel, was dropped into the Syrian desert. Where most likely they were killed now. So yeah, this is what happened.
So
Actually.
just to clarify for anybody who didn't quite hear that, Ukrainian Nazis
hmm
are working directly with HTS, which is an Islamic jihadist organization. Surprise. We've seen Ukrainian Nazis working with various African Islamists in Mali and places like that directly with the Islamic jihadists. And what do they all have in common? They're all funded by Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and the British or the French
Yeah.
too while we're at it.
Europe, let's say whole of
Yeah.
Europe, nearly. I mean,
So
it's
let's begin with in this case with the myth of or the legend of the moderate Islamic resistance to Assad that came around in 2011. How moderate was it? How much was even Syrian? What can you tell us about it?
what they will not moderate. I remember in 2003 there was the Iraqi war. A lot of jihadists already went there. I was somehow in Syria at that time, and they were going through with big buses, trucks. They were all going to Iraq. The point is that these people went back to all their countries, Syria or Afghanistan, but the majority of them are foreigners. They still are from Afghanistan, from the Caucasus,
hmm
Chechens, Uzbeks, you name it, you name it. They are from everywhere. Later on, they came also from Europe. A lot of Moroccans in Europe, so they came en masse to Syria. And it started in 2011 in Dara. That's also, again, the south.
hmm
And there was like a demonstration because there was drought and they demanded more money from the government that so they could do something about their crops. And already it was planned, like a coup d'etat again, that there were some of these jihadists there. They were already funded, sponsored by the West, mainly the US that time. They had weapons. And yeah, this is how they started what they called a civil war. And this is how the West keeps on telling. And it's jihadists. From the start, they were jihadists, proxies from the US. We know now that Al Qaeda was funded by the US. We know it. And later they became ISIS at the end, but there were all groups there. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham now is the best
hmm
known group in Idlib. So it's all funded by the West and also by Turkey. Turkey is playing a very dirty role, I must say, in Syria. This is very tragic, very
hmm
tragic. And we see now the upheaval in Turkey. So I was never yeah, politics for Turkey didn't interest me that much. But now I hope the opposition will win. I don't care what they are, because maybe they can stop the HTS there, because this has to be stopped there, and then they can figure out in Turkey themselves what they want, who they want. But this has to stop. And I think people, the secular in Turkey, want to stop this. They want this for years already. But. So, but the main, what we can say, the majority are all fundamentalist, Islamist, you name it. It's like jihadists. So,
Mhm.
and this is very terrible. Very.
So okay, HTS, Jelani, supposedly he's a Turkish element or a Turkish too, but he doesn't seem to have any problems with the Israelis jumping into Syria.
Mhm.
And there's been lots of reports that while he's wearing suits and getting photographed, these people were going around and murdering Syrian, I'm sorry, Syrian uh, air defense officers and crews that were
Mhm.
trying to defend Syria from Israeli air raids.
Yeah, they did. And I remember Netanyahu when it was 20, I think 12, 13. There were fights going on between these groups and the Syrian army, especially on the Golan Heights, but
Hmm.
also the south everywhere, especially on the Golan Heights. It's close to Israel, it's occupied by Israel parts. So they were wounded. They were taken by Israeli hospitals, and Netanyahu came there himself and comfort them. Okay, you were treated well here, and very good. It's like Europe does with the Ukrainian Nazis there. The same thing happened already there in Syria, and so when they were recovered, they were sent back to Syria to fight against the Syrian army, and this is actually how it was. And people in the West think, okay, it was a civil war. No, it was not a civil war, because the majority of these jihadists are foreigners. So what is civil about that? I mean, they are foreigners. They were fighting against the proxies of the West and also Israel. And Julani, his name means Golan Heights. He was born in the Golan Heights, but then he went to Saudi Arabia with his parents. There he got maybe radicalized. He went back to Damascus, and he's now following this Wahhabi ideology, what you find in Saudi Arabia, which is very terrible. Sorry, I know there's peace process going on in Saudi Arabia, but it doesn't cannot say that there are good. Not all the guys are bad, but okay, their ideology, what many people have there, it's not good. So he came back radicalized, most likely, and now he's the head of HTS, and he was prepared in 2021 for this takeover, because I can look it up. There was a big interview with PBS, the American
Hmm.
news channel, and there he said, "Okay, I'm not a terrorist anymore. I'm now a political leader," and this is how he got shaped already, slowly but surely, to become president of. Syria, I call it jihadistan, or yeah, actually it's a caliphate, what they are wanting and what they most likely will get with Lebanon now also. It's tragic.
Hmm. PBS, for those who don't know, PBS is Public Broadcasting System, which is a government-run
Hmm.
radio station in the U.S. Radio, I think they got a television channel too, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
documentaries they have
Yeah,
on YouTube and so on. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
documentaries, government paid for, so
Yeah.
directly government paid for. I mean, they're government. It's
Hmm.
not a private entity. So what you're saying is, for those who missed it, is Israel was taken in ISIS, wounded ISIS or IGIL or Al Qaeda or HTS. They change their names constantly to keep people confused. But it's the same people. They're just migrating from group to group. So you're saying is that they were taking people in, wounded fighters, these Islamics, and treating them in the hospitals and sending them back.
Exactly, yes. And the Arab people call them Daesh, and that means it's actually like a group, like all these names, what you mentioned, Nusra, Qaeda, it's all put in one group, and that is Daesh, and it means the terrorist. Actually, you can translate a bit different, but let's say they meant terrorists who are, killing the ones who are killing. So this is actually the name for it. So the real Arab people know what Daesh is. It's a killing squad, we can say.
So, which is interesting because I mean these guys are supposedly extreme Islamic jihadists. but they haven't had a single attack on Israel.
Yeah, they cooperate with Israel. That's what they do from the beginning. I mean, they're the proxies from the West and Israel is the West, actually, we can say. So,
Hmm.
yeah, because Israel is happy with them because, they are fighting the Arabs. They are dividing a lot of Arab people, not in Syria, but let's say the Palestinians, the Jordanians, they're dividing them. And this is what Israel wants because, of course, they also are now conducting a genocide in Gaza. So this is Israel wants to expand as well. They want to have parts of Syria. They want to have parts of Lebanon. So they have a greater Israel. This is the dream of Netanyahu, we can say, and his government, right-wing government, ultra-right-wing government, like fascists they are. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. I mean, to be Jewish is a religion, to be Muslim is a religion, but they are ultra-fascists, and this is totally different. But okay, you cannot say that because when you say that, you are an anti-Semite, and
Yeah.
this whole story. So, but this is what it is. I think it's very tragic for the Middle East, what is going on for the people. I mean, Syria was a beautiful country. It had a lot of minorities, a Christian, Islam, Alawites, Kurds, and they lived peacefully together. I mean, okay, Assad, his government, they made mistakes, and that's normal. And also, people in the Middle East never experienced like democracy or freedom because they were always occupied by the French, by the Ottoman Turks. So I mean, he had to be an authoritarian there, and this he was not really. His father was, but Bashar was not really like that. I mean, he's started like a real Arab Spring in 2000 to give people freedom, and so. But this is so tragic for Syria because it was a diverse country, and now it's totally destroyed.
Now,
Yeah.
there's about 10,000 refugees on the Russian bases.
Mhm.
And Jelani, interestingly enough, so far, nobody's touched the Russian bases. But when they did fight against Russian forces, they got their teeth kicked in earlier. I think but just with aviation, came out to something like 2,500 killed just in that 1 week.
Yeah.
Now, it seems that they all now want Russia to stay on those two bases. Even the Israelis now want Russia to stay, which is interesting. The game that they're all playing with each other.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like a geopolitical game. I mean, we should not forget Russia is now in a peace process or talks, let's say that. Don't know if there's really a peace, but okay, talks. But they do it in Saudi Arabia. Of course,
Hmm.
Saudi Arabia, I would not say they're aligned with terrorists, but okay, we can say they have a lot of interest in them. And the Israelis have a lot of interest in them because it's close by. I mean, I remember from the beginning when it started, the 8th of December, they were in the crossfire, the Russians, because then we had the Biden regime, we can say still. So they were in the crossfire between the Israel and Turkey, and it was really a blitzkrieg. I think there were signs, but not really enough. And I remember that time when they said that it was surrounded by jihadists, the air
Hmm.
base and the other base. So and that even UK and the US wanted to attack the base, the Russian base. So this was crazy situation. They attacked in that week. They helped, but yeah, I think my guess is that they have a lot of problem, not problem, but we have this special military operation. So a lot of soldiers are there, so they cannot afford to have another war. And this, if Russia would get involved, they have another war, then these soldiers would not be enough. They can do something, but it's not enough because then Turkey comes, with another bunch of terrorists. I don't know, maybe Israel will come with another bunch of terrorists. So it would be full-blown war in the Middle East between the big powers, and I think this is why it's a stalemate at the moment. And yeah, everybody say why is to me because I know all these people there, a lot of people, and they tell me why is Russia not helping? Why is Russia not doing anything, not bombing or? And I try to explain, yes, we have a special military operation as well, so it will be really a world war when they do something big there. And they understand, but of course, people who are desperate will not understand. This is normal. But this, I think, it's what is going on at the moment.
Do you think Iran and Shia, yeah, Iraq are going to get involved? The Iraqi
No.
militias. I know they're entrenching up and down the border. The Iraqis are building fortifications. I have for the last 3 months,
Hmm.
building up fortifications up and down the border. You don't think they're going to get involved in the end with against
Maybe,
HTS?
maybe in the end. But I mean, if they expand, of course they should be. But of course, they lost many people, good people like Soleimani and the other
Hmm.
generals, al-Muhandis. And Iran is frightened now because the US is threatening Iran to attack Iran together with Israel. I mean, this is another thing what will be going on. But once they do that, yeah, well, then the whole Middle East is totally on fire. West Asia, then it's madness. I mean, then I don't know what will happen. And one of them will nuke the other one, and then it's all lost. Then I mean, and I think the terrible part is that Europe, the intention of all this is to send back the Syrians, what they call, like Germany or the Netherlands, especially Germany. They want to send back the Syrians they have because they have about 2 million. They're not all Syrians, by the way,
Oh yeah, I know.
because they came, no, they're Afghans or whatever. And mainly
Albanians.
they Albanians, and they are, I would say, let's say 50-50 are jihadists there because they
Yeah,
lost in Aleppo 2016.
yeah,
So the UN was there telling them, oh, you can, go to the office, you can go to Europe. And Merkel, remember saying, come, come. So
yeah.
now we see in Germany all these attacks and nearly every week. So they want to
Every
send
week, I
them
think
back.
it's every day these days.
Yeah, yeah, every day lately.
Knifings, shootings.
So they thought, okay, when we support this, we can send all these people back, but they will not go back because maybe a few of them go back, but not enough, of course. But then we get another bunch of refugees. That are the Alawites, the Christians, the
Hmm.
Kurds, the Druze. They will now go. They are now the border is now occupied 10, 20,000 already, and they come in every day. The whole coastal area will be empty. Somehow I saw pictures of Jableh. It's an empty city. So they all go to Lebanon. And well, a lot of them will go to embassy or whatever where they can have refuge. And they will end up finally in Europe again. And this is the politics in Europe, they make big mistakes. That's maybe they deserve it to make big mistakes.
Yeah, there
I
was an
think they deserve
interesting
it.
there was
Yeah.
an interesting scene in one guy in Germany. So a guy was standing there with a sign, Assad ruined my life. It's all
Hmm.
horrible. Great that Assad is gone. And the journalist like, so now you're going back to Syria. Oh, no, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. I've been here
Uh,
for 10 years. My life is here. I'm not going in. I was like, yeah, okay.
yeah,
So,
yeah. No,
yeah,
they will not go back. They will not go back. Why? Why? I mean, imagine you have to go back to a caliphate. You can say there's no money, there's nothing there because it's looted everywhere and it's a disaster there. So where do they have to go back to? I mean, maybe they left their houses; they're not even there anymore. So what? There's no jobs, nothing. So,
but okay,
but
so
it's
so
really.
for moderate Syrians, that would be one thing. But these are jihadists that are sitting in Europe screaming, "We want jihad in Syria." Okay, well now you got a caliphate. By all means, that should be your dream country
Hmm.
now, and they don't want to go
Hmm.
back
Yeah.
to it.
No, 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 no.
They want
No,
to
but
make
also they
Germany
have.
into a caliphate.
Yeah, no, but it's really it's their aim.
Yeah,
Germany, France. I mean, this is what they want. This is what they preached all the time. From 2011, I hear that all not the Jews or not the Israelis, let's say, they don't want that, but they want Europe to be a caliphate. Like they dream about
yeah.
also about Ottoman Empire, but done in a way of a caliphate, and to expand. And they always remember that the Muslims were in front of Vienna, so nearly took Vienna in the Middle Ages somehow. But this is their dream, and this is Europe doesn't understand this, that this is their dream, but they are experiencing it now. It's in the beginning, but maybe, yeah, I
Oh, I
mean,
think it's
they
past
want
beginning,
war
depending
anyhow.
on which country. Some of those countries are way past the beginning. They're
Yeah,
well
it's
in advanced
Germany,
stages.
Germany,
Germany,
Germany for
Netherlands,
sure. Yeah,
Belgium,
yeah,
France,
yeah, yeah.
UK.
France, yeah, yeah. Oh, UK is also a disaster. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, but now they get new refugees most likely. So, but okay, they're the moderate, so they will adapt and work eventually. But they cannot go back as long as there's a caliphate. So.
Yeah.
and it will be stay. It will stay, and if nobody stops them, it will expand in the whole
Of
of the
course,
Middle East.
of course. We're
That's
we're, we're back to Islamic State. It's no
yeah,
longer
we're
Islamic
back.
State Iraq. It's now Islamic State Syria. But
Yeah,
it's the same Islamic State.
and in 2011 there was Russia that who could,
Mhm.
make a buffer against them, against this terrorist. But okay, we have the special military operation now, so they know that, of course. So yeah, Russia can do something, but not much, because first they have to liberate their own territories there in
Yep.
the Luhansk, Donbass, and so this is the
Kiev.
opportunity for them. Kyiv, yeah, this is the opportunity for them to,
Yep.
to establish the caliphate.
But, oh, I
Perfect
love
time.
when Trump, when I was president, we destroyed IGIL. Yeah, I think I remember it was Russia burning whole convoys of IGIL. That's like 50,000
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
ISIS died under Russian bombs, not under
yeah.
American bombs. But I do remember Iraqi soldiers complaining that they're watching U.S. Planes dropping supplies off
Mm-hmm.
to Islamic State, to the IGIL people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And not
Yeah, yeah,
once,
I
but
know.
many, many times. So,
Yeah, yeah, and they also evacuated them in the end when
yeah,
it was lost somehow, when some village was lost, or they evacuated them with the Apaches and went
yeah.
to, I don't know. And also, that's what I found out a time ago, that a lot of them were in Ukraine. Imagine this. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah,
the
yeah.
city, but they were there as they were asylum seekers in Ukraine.
Oh, they were fighting in Ukraine too, particularly in
Yeah, yeah,
2002,
yeah, I know.
2003. There were a
Yeah,
lot of them
yeah,
fighting.
yeah, yeah. That were the from the Caucasus. Omar
Hmm.
al-Sistani. He has his own group. I don't know, still alive, but
These
he
were
had his own
Arabs.
group.
These were Arabs. These
Yeah.
weren't from the
Also,
Caucasus.
yeah,
So this was,
yeah. A few from
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember there was on Facebook all these posts when it
Hmm.
started that, okay, brothers, we go to Ukraine to get the Russians, because they hated the Russians, of course, because what happened in Syria. So
Yeah,
it's like a circle, a bad circle is going on.
yeah,
Yeah, and what did America say when Trump came? Yeah, it's not our business, guys. We let them. It's not our business. So I mean, this is what he said in the tweet in the beginning, or X
except for some
post.
reason on American transport planes. So a lot of witnesses have been seeing them. The ISIS appeared in Afghanistan to fight the Taliban, and ISIS appeared
Mm-hmm.
in Libya.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
you know,
They were
yeah,
transported there. Yeah, of
yeah.
course. It's what they do. They destroyed the whole Middle East. And okay, it was not under Trump, although Trump was president. And under his presidency, Syria got the Caesar Act, that are sanctions, the most terrible sanctions from all the Middle Eastern countries, even worse than in Iran, or Russia now. But this act it was a disaster for the people, of course, because
Yeah.
there was nothing anymore, and they still stole the oil, over the years. They
Oh
still do.
yeah, $100 billion worth.
Yeah. So this is how
Yeah,
Syria got destroyed economically as well.
yeah.
Yeah, sad.
And they're still stealing. The U.S. is still stealing
Oh
the
yeah,
oil. And
the
Trump
US is
even
still
admitted
there.
to it. We're there to steal the
No,
oil.
it's not his business, but
But
it's his business.
but yeah, but he admitted we're there to steal the
Yeah,
oil. Well, at
yeah,
least
yeah.
somebody's telling the truth. I mean, it's the obvious, the huge elephant in the room that the U.S. is there stealing the oil.
Hmm.
At least he
Yeah,
admitted it.
yeah. So okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, what can we say? It's what I fear for all the people there. Really, it's so sad, really sad. It's like also the Alawites who were government employees, they're all fired, of course. But not
Hmm.
only the Alawites, it's also everybody who was working under the Assad government is fired. So no salary, so they don't have anything. And also, but Alawites now who don't have an identity paper anymore, they can get one for 3 months. And it says in these 3 months, you have to get out or we eliminate you. Imagine this. This is what the new identity paper is.
Wait a minute, wait
So,
a minute, wait a minute. I don't believe you. It can't be.
yeah,
Jelani
it's true.
just went.
I
No,
saw
no, no,
the
no, no,
paper.
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
Jelani just went to Europe for a fundraiser.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, van
unbelievable.
der Leyen, I mean, she's not van der Leyen after all. She met
Mm-hmm.
Jelani as a
Mm-hmm.
great new moderate
Leader, yeah,
president, I
president.
guess. I mean, dictator,
Yeah,
I don't know. He's still on the wanted list. But so
yeah.
he can't be doing this. These people can't be.
No, no.
They're in Europe getting fundraisers.
it's all inclusive, the society, yeah, all the
Yeah.
minorities, and it's all and then Baerbock, she went there 2 times. It was laughable, of course, not shaking hands, and she's blurred everywhere in the media, and in the media, in the propaganda from the jihadists. So, I mean, this is when you think about it, they're a laughing stock, the whole European Union. It's yeah, for Russia, but also there. But yeah, of course, the people are suffering. I mean, the people are suffering in the Middle East badly, and Russians suffer under sanctions. But okay, that's
Yeah.
the least. We can
Uh,
live with that. Huh?
we're not
I live in
suffering
Russia
much.
as well. It's no, I know. I live here too, and what I go to the supermarket and there's everything. Okay, prices may be a bit up, but okay, that's everywhere.
They're a
That's
bit up
normal. But
everywhere. People, yeah.
yeah,
But you
so
can't
but
sanction Russia because number one, we
no.
can feed ourselves and we can make everything, just about everything we need ourselves.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's just one of
yeah.
those,
So.
yeah, okay, thanks.
hmm
Well,
Yeah.
Putin has in fact gave a speech to the Union of Industrialists last end of last week, or this week, I'm sorry.
hmm
We basically said, sanctions are here forever, so
Yeah,
don't count on them ever going away. And that's actually what the
of
industrialists wanted to hear. That we're not,
course.
there's no reapproaching with Europe and Russia, period.
No, no,
And
but
we'll
it should
continue
not be.
investing in the country. We're
Yeah,
not going to worry
yeah.
about Europeans coming back in.
No,
So,
no, it should be like that because once you let them in, they will take everything
oh
again.
yeah.
This is how they do. Also, the US, in my opinion. But okay, who am I? But okay,
Well,
you can collaborate. That's
yeah,
okay, maybe.
yeah.
But
Oh,
that's
I took part in technology transfers, purchases,
mhm,
when I was a director of supply chain in Eurasia for Halliburton.
mhm.
Um,
Okay.
and you're looking at these companies, I mean, you just want to scream at these fools in their
hmm
faces. Do you not understand what you have? And they don't. This was a
hmm
Russian company. In fact, it was a university spawned company. They had a lot of tech that the American engineers, they were having orgasms looking at it, literally.
hmm
Oh, this is gonna change everything. Ah! And then they put the "Made in America" sign on it. Yeah, okay, there. And
This,
for the Russian company, they gave them the Russian market, and that's it. Like,
mhm.
and they sold it for pennies. I'm like, God, you guys are idiots. You have no idea what you have on your hands,
No,
technology
no,
wise.
gold mine. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, gold mine nowadays. But yeah,
Right.
okay. But yeah, what can we do? I mean, I'm trying also to myself save people. It's very hard because I'm in Moscow, I have also
Right.
sanctions and so on. But okay, I try to guide the people what they should do. I know people in Lebanon and try to get them out. This is what they should do. And the houses are confiscated anyhow, so it doesn't matter if you're Alawite or even Christian. Your houses will be confiscated there. So yeah, so it doesn't matter. I tell them if your house is confiscated, anyhow, what do you want? Your house confiscated and that, or just your house? You can start
Yeah.
somewhere over again. So, but if you think about it, it's horrible. It's
Oh, it
unbelievable
is.
what is
Yeah.
going on. Yeah, yeah. Now many cities are in Europe. People, the Alawites live there, and the Aleviten, they are Turkish ones. They are
Hmm.
like not the same, but okay, they're nearly the same because they all live in the coastal area, so they're bordering Turkey. So they are also united with the Alawites, but yeah, okay. Nobody can do a lot. People are sending a lot of money to people who are stuck at nowhere land, no, it's like the border between Lebanon and Syria, because some of them are not allowed to come into Lebanon. So it's crowded, packed there. It's nothing what we saw, what I saw in the years 2011 to 2019. It's much worse now. It's because all the minorities will be gone, all,
Yeah.
and it will be just caliphate. That's
Yeah.
that's how it will end up if nobody does anything. And I don't see anybody is doing anything at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
You're
maybe
right.
if they come close. Yeah.
I still
So
don't
sad,
think
but we wait of the war with Iran.
I still don't think the U. Well, if the
Yeah.
U.S. attacks Iran, um, just for statistics wise,
The-
within range, short to medium ballistic range of Iran's missiles are
mm,
60,000 American servicemen on different bases. Lots of aircraft, naval ships,
mhm.
everything up and down the Persian Gulf, including in eastern Syria. Everything's within easy range, and Iran's shown that it can hit pinpoint
Yeah.
targeting. So, is
Mm.
Trump willing to
Yeah,
risk
but
60,000 Americans? I don't know.
we don't know. He's unpredictable.
He is,
That's the whole point. I mean, Israel wants, oh, desperately, they want to attack Iran. But
but
yeah,
they want
is
America to
Trump
attack
going along?
Iran.
Sometimes he say yes. Yeah, of course. But maybe they will do. Nobody knows. They speak about it a lot. So,
Oh
but
yeah.
they do already for years. But okay, Biden did his last thing in Syria now. So we don't know because Trump, of course, how you put it, he's like a Zionist, a Christian Zionist. So he's for favor of Israel. So it should be expanding, of course. And there are so many Zionists in his government. So yeah, is he going to do it or not? We don't
Yeah.
know. I hope not. That common sense comes into his head one day. But yeah, we don't
Well,
know.
well, the funny thing
It's
is, the Christian
he will
Zionists,
not say anything when Israel does it.
Christian Zionists, if you know anything about them, I grew up
Hmm.
around a lot of them when I was living in the U.S. The evangelicals,
Hmm.
they don't like Jews. I mean, let's begin with that. Jews
Yeah,
are
me too in the
damned,
Netherlands.
but we need them to start
Yeah.
World War Armageddon, because then we all get to they've got this um,
Yeah.
rapture. Rapture is a heretical non Christian
Hmm.
actually dogma that was created by Charles Darby in 1833. And they believe Christ is going to come twice, and the first time he's going to come, he's going to take all the saints, and which is all the evangelicals,
Hmm.
and they're just going to teleport. Then they don't have to die; they just teleport straight to heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 7 years later, he comes
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and judges everyone else. So Christ's second and third coming, or second coming part two. I don't know how they explain that, but so they need the
It's crazy.
Israelis to start World War III, and then
Yeah.
but before that they need to build the temple. But before that, in their view, Israel has to be a extremely religious, ethnically pure state.
Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, in the
yeah.
Netherlands we have same, not like in the US, but we have the Reformed, and they are Christian, like a little bit like the evangelical Christians,
Hmm.
and they always speak about the promised land. That's Israel. And according to their ideology in the Bible, it says when all the Jews are in Israel, then the war starts, and then Christ will come back. And that is also, I mean, but they openly collaborate with Israel. They stand there, with the Israeli flag and so on. So they even go and, yeah, I think in the army, a few of them. So they are really, it's like also the Christian Zionists from the Netherlands, I know. So yeah, these people are, I told them often, I was in debate with them. I told them, but we have this government, Geert Wilders, you know
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah.
He's a Zionist. I always put something under his Twitter, because I know him. So I always tell him it's best for you to emigrate to Israel because I have two passports anyway, and live there and go in the parliament there. It's better because this party is full of Zionists, and also the Likud party is infiltrated in this in this political party. The third man is Mossad. He was protecting Geert Wilders, and they are funded by IPAC and I don't know, all kind of Jewish lobbies in the US. So, and this is in the Netherlands, ruling the Netherlands. Can you imagine? So
No,
this is
APEC in the U.S. has handlers, has a team of
also, yeah,
handlers for every single
yeah,
member of Congress in the
yeah,
U.S.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So
what?
this is, and first he was pro-Russian because he met Dugin one time, many, many
Hmm.
years ago. But then they make really a coup d'état in the Dutch government, and he won. Stupid people who chose him, but okay, that's another. So Rutte thought this guy cannot be prime minister because he's too anti-Arab, too anti-Muslim. He is
Hmm.
always burning Qurans. He likes that, and so on. So we put somebody there nobody knows. He's from the Secret Service, and he can be the prime minister. And Wilders can be somehow, well, in the parliament, but not so influent because I have to be, Mark Rutte, he has to be head of NATO. This was then the
Oh
deal.
yeah, yeah.
So this is how, this is the Netherlands. Imagine this. So, and now PVV, Geert Wilders decided, I'm also for Ukraine now.
Yeah, the Netherlands is just not missing an opportunity to choose badly, very
Very
badly.
bad. Yeah, but this is
So,
how Europe is now. It's a mess. It's crazy, and I don't expect anything from there to lift a finger in the Middle East because they were there giving money. So I mean,
oh, yeah.
this is this. The
Jelani
people are so
fundraising.
ignorant. Yeah,
Support
the
your
people are
neighborhood
ignorant,
terrorist.
stupid,
Yeah.
until the terrorists come to Europe. And I think they are there already. I hope they will suffer more under the terrorists in Europe. Then maybe the people start realizing, but then it's too late.
Sonia,
So yeah,
terrorists need hugs too and large donations.
yeah, yeah.
And
No,
your
of
virgin
course, of
daughters and
course,
you
of
know
course.
and
Yes,
whatever
yeah,
else,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah,
An
yeah.
occasional
True,
head
true.
chopping. I mean, it's tradition. It's like family values,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Take the
It's
kids out,
you
chop
know,
somebody's head off.
yeah, yeah. But
Islamic jihad.
yeah, yeah. I saw that in 2015, and was at a square in Damascus, and we was in a car, and we went to go somewhere to visit because I was there with a few people, writers, and so on. And then when the driver said, "Don't walk, don't look, don't look," but we drove around in a corner somewhere, and there were all poles with heads fixed on the poles. It was horrible. Of
Yeah.
course, when people say "don't look," you look. So
Okay, yeah.
it's normal. It's normal. Yeah.
Um,
So this is what they
w
do. Yeah.
sorry, I have to interrupt. We are almost out of time. We've got
Okay.
less than half a minute. Thank you, everyone who joined us. Sonia, thank you. Um, if anyone has any questions, comments, put them in below the video, and pass it on, get you answers. So thank you again. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the
Uh,
interview.
and very much, I hope the next time we're on, news will be better, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Maybe a few elephants are born in the zoo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if they don't get eaten
Okay.
by certain Islamic jihadists for